Are you a busy person, or do you often feel like there's not enough time in the day to get everything completed on your task list? Hi, my name is Steve Scott. I help creatives, online entrepreneurs, and high-level achievers get real results with their work. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my #1 time management hack that specifically helps crazy busy people probably like yourself. Let's get to the content. Quick backstory. As I mentioned in other videos, part of my week is spent taking care of my 3-year-old son with another one on the way. So probably like you, I live a pretty hectic life that is jam-packed full of lots of interesting activities. Now the problem is this means I no longer have the large blocks of time like I used to run my business and other aspects of my life. Instead, I'm often faced with 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, so it's short, compressed amounts of time. Now, what most people do when they're faced with these small blocks of time is they default to checking Facebook, looking at email, looking at their stats, or checking the headlines. Bottom line, they think that they can't really get much done with 5 or 10 minutes, so they just default to basically mindless activities. What I would recommend instead is to use what are called short slivers of time. And actually, this is an article in the Chicago Tribune by Suzanne Perez Tobias, where she talks about the idea that you want to take these 5, 10, or even 15-minute blocks of time and just jam out and get a good amount of work in a compressed amount of time. So to make this effective, I would recommend creating a list of all that you have to do on a regular basis and referring to this list whenever you are faced with a 5 or 10 minute block of time. So as an example, when my son is eating, he's happily eating, watching a TV show, and that's really the only time we really let him watch TV is when he's really bothering us, or when he just wants to relax and watch a little bit of Bubble Guppies. So during this time, usually it's about 20 minutes, I will get a 5 to 10 minute block of time work done while he's eating. I'm sitting next to him with my laptop and he's eating next to me. So it's not a lot of time, but I'm surprisingly able to use this to run multiple 6-figure businesses. And this is what I want to talk about in the remainder of this video, how to maximize those short slivers of time. Step number 1, create a central hub for all your tasks. And honestly, this is the most important step of the process. You want to have a central location where you keep every single activity or project or everything you need to do on a regular basis in this one place. And that means whenever you're faced with 5 or 10 minutes of free time, you can quickly take out this list, look at what you need to get done, and complete a single action or part of a larger project. Now, there are many apps and tools that can help you do this. Obviously, my personal preference is Todoist, and I've talked about Todoist in other videos and will continue to do so. But the point here is every time I have a task, I make sure it's in Todoist. I just take out the app, look at one thing I need to get done immediately, and I just work on that whenever I'm faced with 5 or 10 minutes of free time. Step number 2, identify 5-minute actions. This is real simple. Whenever you have a short sliver of time, I recommend getting out your task list and looking for activities that only take a few minutes to complete. Now, oftentimes you could guesstimate something that will take a few minutes to complete. It could be a phone call, it could be filling out a form, it could be even working on something that is an ongoing project. But the point here is you want to find something that doesn't take too long to complete. Now, what's cool about Todoist is there is a feature called labels. Now with labels, you could create a task and just create a list of, let's just say, phone calls or emails you have to send. It's almost like a tag that you could put on particular tasks. So what I would recommend is whenever you're creating a task and it only takes a few minutes to complete, I would recommend adding the label of 5 minutes. And what's cool is whenever you have a short compressed amount of time, you pull out Todoist, you look on the app and just run a search for 5 minutes, and you'll just see a laundry list of all the tasks that only take a few minutes to complete. And you could really jam out a lot of work in a short amount of time just by using this one particular label. And finally, step number 3, look for sliver opportunities. I feel this is the hardest step of the process, even though it sounds the easiest. Whenever you're faced with 5 or 10 minutes of free time, what you should avoid, the habit you should avoid, is just pulling out your phone, looking at Facebook, email, all the stuff I've already talked about. Instead, I would recommend building the practice of getting at your task list and looking for something quick that you can accomplish in the short amount of time that you have. You could use the label suggestion with Todoist that I just talked about, Or you could just get out a list of tasks that you have and try to find something that only takes a few minutes to complete. That said, if you are faced with absolutely positively nothing to do, I'd recommend always having a book with you or reading an article related to the next skill that you would like to learn. And this is a concept that I covered in the just-in-time learning video, and I'll provide a link to that in the notes and hopefully at the top of this video as you're watching it right now. So there you have it. That is my #1 time management hack for super busy people. If you'd like to learn more time management and productivity strategies, I would recommend subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell, and this will let you know as soon as a video is published on my channel. Finally, I would love to hear back from you. How do you maximize those short slivers of time? Is there a personal favorite time management strategy that you use all the time? Is there anything I didn't cover in this video that you would like to learn more about? If so, be sure to leave a comment on this video. Or if you don't really want to publicly leave a question, then I have a Google survey form at the bottom of this video that you can fill out and send a question to me directly, and hopefully I can feature it in a future video. Well, thanks for watching and talk to you next time.